Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Monmouth County. My name is Jay Blotsky, and my pronouns are he and him and hers. I serve today as your guest worship coordinator and as a friend of the congregation. Whoever you are, whomever you love, however you arrived at this beloved place, you are welcome here. Our mission is to create community, transform ourselves, and transform the world.
This morning, we welcome a guest speaker, Harriet Rossetto. Harriet Rossetto is the founder and executive vice president of Beit T'Shuvah, a residential treatment center and educational institution in West Los Angeles. She started Beit T'Shuvah over 30 years ago with a remarkable mission to help broken souls and transform a broken system. Harriet believes that addiction is a malady of the soul requiring spiritual healing, which inspired her to create a thriving community, bless you, that supports addicts of all kinds, regardless of where they are in life. She received her Master of Social Work degree from the University of Minnesota and is now a trainer for the National Association of Social Workers, teaching classes about the treatment and philosophy of addiction. Her commitment to educating others about the disease of addiction reflects her passion for making a positive impact. Harriet is also an author of the book titled Sacred Housekeeping, a Spiritual Memoir. In 1991, she received the Alan Kasson Award for Professional Achievement from the Jewish Communal Professionals. Welcome, Harriet, to UUCMC in New Jersey. I met Harriet through our writing teacher and nationally acclaimed author, Gay Wally, who is also here today. I would like to welcome her. Yay. I would also like to welcome Harriet's partner, Rabbi Mark Borovitz. He is the rabbi and spiritual leader of the Beit T'Shuvah Recovery Program and Congregation Beit T'Shuvah. Rabbi Mark's personal spiritual journey and his rabbinic education provides a unique and valuable perspective on Jewish culture and learning. His recently published memoir, The Holy Thief, co-written with Alan Eisenstock, chronicles his journey from con man to rabbi and community leader. Welcome, Rabbi Mark. Also present is Ron Jackson, our musician. I have known Ron for almost 20 years and met him at the Brooklyn Conservatory of Music. He will be with us for 3 Sundays this summer. Ron is an internationally renowned jazz guitarist and plays in famous jazz venues worldwide and is a regular player at St. Peter's Church in Manhattan. It is always an honor, Ron. You may read about his accomplishments at his website, ronjacksonmusic.com. Welcome, Ron.
I draw your attention to the backside of your orders of service for announcements and service information for next week. For those on the live stream and for video viewers, the order of service link is available to you in the YouTube service description box. After the service, those gathered in person are welcome to visit with one another. Refreshments will be served in the community room, and people of all ages are welcome to visit with one another. If you are new to us, please do visit our website, uucmc.org, where you can sign up to get all the latest news of the congregation by email. We look forward to getting to know you better. Please put your devices on silent as we enter into worship together. Welcome again to this place of love and hope. Thank you, Ron. Today's call to worship is entitled The Song of the Universe. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe, who are we? Listen carefully. Can you still hear the song? The one sung for you when you were born. The song sung by a cosmos in motion, rejoicing at your life. You, the result. You, the outcome. You, the celebration. Listen carefully. Can you hear it still? A song of possibility, a reminder that we still have time to be who and what we need to be. Listen carefully. The vast expanse echoes a recognition that it's not always easy. Possibilities can be hard to pursue. Roads not taken, wrong turns, destinations that disappoint. Through this, the song persists. The universe sings no less because time and space wear us thin. The music calls us to recognize our limitations, to recognize that the song is best sung with others. Here, in community, bringing alive that most primordial and original impulse, the desire to sing to the universe who we are, to celebrate and share with lives and with others.
I have asked Rabbi Mark to light the chalice. The words of the chalice lighting are from Carol Meyer. We are people of all ages who enter this space. We are people of all ages who enter this space bringing our joys and concerns. We come together in hope. We greet each other warmly with our voices and our smiles. We come together in peace. We light the chalice to symbolize our interdependence and our unity. We come together in harmony. We share our growth and our aspirations. We come together in wonder. We share our losses and our disappointments. We come together in sorrow. We share our concern and our compassion. We come together in love. We come to this place bringing our doubts and our faith. We come together as seekers. We sing and pray and listen. We speak and read and dream. We think and ponder and reflect. We cry and laugh and center. We mourn and celebrate and meditate. We strive for justice and for mercy. We come together and worship. Please rise for our hymn, I've Got Peace Like a River, number 100 in the gray hymnal. We will be doing the first 3 verses. So we have a word for all ages today, And I picked something that applies to everyone, not just young people. It's called Find Your Calm. And it's written by Gabby Garcia. And for those of you that might not know people in recovery, we're always working on finding our calm. Anxiety can feel big and powerful. It can show up suddenly without warning. It startles me. Sometimes it seems to go everywhere I do. When anxiety comes crashing in like thunder, it can feel scary, but I've learned what to do. These feelings can be helpful if there is really a threat, but most of the time, it's a false alarm. We're not really in danger, so we need to find a sense of safety again so that we can find calm. Here's what I do to help me feel safe. I look around and scan for reminders of safety, big or small. A friendly face, a color or shape, a tree, a flower, or anything else my eyes land on that is familiar, comforting, or calming to me. I also use my other senses to become aware of my surroundings. I can pay attention to what I hear, smell, touch, or taste. This helps my mind and body focus on what's happening right now. I pay attention to my breath, in and out. There is no rush. There is no danger. Invitation.
Every week in this congregation, we are provided with an opportunity to practice generosity. This is your invitation to contribute to the well-being of our congregation. For those of you present here in the meeting house, the plates will be passed by the ushers. You may also join this time of generosity via text and send your offering by mail or charge your contribution online. Thank you.
My turn. Good morning, everybody. When Karen invited me to come here and speak about 6 months ago, to come all the way from California, I didn't hesitate because I'm a homegirl. I was born in Paterson, New Jersey, raised there. My mother moved to Long Branch, and so for me, this is homecoming. So, my challenge this morning is to tell you in 15 minutes everything I have learned over the last 40 years about addiction, recovery, myself, and the human condition. I'm going to attempt to do that. And I would like to set the scene with a few lines from a wonderful book called The Spirituality of Imperfection. To be human is to be incomplete, yet yearn for completion. To be uncertain, yet long for certainty. To be imperfect, yet long for perfection. To be broken, yet long for wholeness. So kind of keep that in mind as I talk about the rest of it. I would say that probably for the first half of my life, I lived in a kind of internal conflict between what my culture and my mother told me I should be. I should go to college to find a Harvard lawyer. My mother said lawyers make better husbands than doctors. And I should become a suburban housewife and live happily ever after, because that's what you did in those days. But there was a restless spirit in me, a rebel spirit looking for a cause, and there was a strong spirit looking to make a difference in the world, to find my mission. My mother told me I'd been a missionary child, to find my ikigai, as the Japanese say, the thing that I was born to be, my purpose. And those conflicted with one another. And because I was a good girl, I found him my second year. I didn't want to blow it, you know. I got married at 19, expecting to live happily ever after. And that didn't work for me. And I tried a few more husbands, and if you want all the salacious details, they made a documentary about Mark and me called The Jewish Jail Lady and the Holy Thief. You can get it on Amazon Prime. I won't tell you all the details. But marriage and motherhood did not fulfill the yearnings of my soul. And at about 50, was about to turn the corner, I hit a bottom, a dark night of the soul, and I was going to give up. And I was seriously thinking about checking out. And I had a friend who was active in science of mind. And she said, well, before you kill yourself, I'd like you to go see this friend of mine. She works miracles. And her name is Janet Levy. I don't believe in miracles. I considered myself an existentialist. Life is hard and then you die. But she had a Jewish last name, so I thought, well, you know, how crazy could she be? And so I went to visit Janet Levy. And she said, well, what is it that you want, my dear? And I said, that's my problem. I don't know what I want. What I want is I want to know what I want. And she said, do you pray? I said, no, I don't pray. I'm a Jewish intellectual. We don't pray. She said, I'm going to pray for you. Father of the universe, take this woman by the hand and guide her to her rightful work. She knows she wants to make a difference in the world, but she doesn't know how. And she said, "Now you just pay attention." I was broke. I was about to be homeless. I had left social work. My only child had gone off to college. I was divorced for the umpteenth time. But a still small voice whispered to me, "Hey, why don't you see what social work has to offer?" when the classified section of the LA Times came out. And I went to social work, and there it was. It was the smallest ad on the page, and it said, "Person of Jewish background and culture to work with Jewish criminal offenders." And it was, oh my God, this shit works. I prayed for a miracle, and who better than me, nice Jewish girl, likes bad boys, and here is a job working with Jewish criminals. So, you know, I had always been attracted to the dark side. I wouldn't have admitted it at the time to anybody, not even my therapist. But Stanley Kowalski turned me on in Streetcar Named Desire. That was not something you could admit. But here it was, an opportunity for a nice girl who liked bad boys, who was addicted to true crime, to work with Jewish criminal offenders. And so I took that job, obviously, and I started to visit Jewish men and women in jails and prisons. I didn't meet Bugsy Siegel or Meyer Lansky or any of those guys. I met me. I met you. I met my husband, then a criminal. These were people, they were good people, and they did terrible things. They knew right, but they did wrong. It was like two different energies occupied their body with no spiritual corpus callosum connecting their parts. They were all good or all bad, black or white, 100% or 0. And I recognized that duality in myself. The only difference was I was managing my parts. I hid my shadow part. And the people I was seeing in prison hid their light. I hid the dark. They hid the light. Both of us had the hole in the soul. And I knew that we could heal one another and find together the path to wholeness. And in my lingo, wholeness of self is holiness. Putting the broken parts together is holiness. And so they would tell me, "I'm never coming back to this place again. This is awful. I'm going to get it together. I'm going to be in recovery." And within 60 or 90 days, there they were again. And the recidivism rate was something like 90%. And so I said, I'm going to start a place where people can come when they get out. And I'm going to call it Beit T'Shuvah, the house of return, the house of repentance. And in 1987, we opened the doors of Beit T'Shuvah on the west side in downtown LA, barrio adjacent. And now it's a 40,000 square foot facility on the west side of LA with 140 residents who stay a long time looking to find wholeness within themselves, and connection to community. I believe that all of us crave connection, addicts even more so. It is no accident that the person from whom you buy your drugs is called your connection, because if you cannot find authentic connection, you find connection in substances and compulsive activities. And so we started Beit T'Shuvah. And I look to Jewish wisdom, to Buddhism, to the 12 steps of AA, to the Desert Fathers, to Thomas Merton, to literature, to anything I could find that addressed where is wholeness to be found. And I began to ask, what are we recovering in recovery? And Thomas Merton gave me the words. We are recovering the self that wants us to be who we were born to be, our hidden wholeness. So how do we lose that self? We are born with an authentic, essential spark of the divine, each of us individual, and yet somehow or another, we are seduced by our culture of comparison. And I found one of the first teachings that really excited me about a rabbi named Reb Zusia. And he was an esteemed rabbi, and he was dying, and his disciples gathered round, and they said, Rebbe, are you worried about, when you get to the heavenly gates, what God will say? He said, I am not worried that my Maker will say, Zusia, why were you not more like Moses? I am only concerned, he will say, Zusia, why were you not more like Zusia? And that was a big aha for me, because all of us, I think, grow up in a culture of comparatives and competition. Am I better or worse, fatter or thinner? Do I have more money or less money? Where am I on the scale? And then all we need to do to be whole and holy is to be who we are, with all of our parts, the ones we like and the ones we'd rather get rid of, because all of us have them. And so that was my first aha about not comparing or competing. And then I began to look at how do we lose that essential self with which we are born. And I think it's really hard to be a human being. And I've identified 3 things that differentiate humans from other creatures. The first is that we are the only creature that is aware of our own mortality. And that creates within us an unconscious kind of anxiety, a need for certainty. We protect ourselves through trying to be perfect. We become addicted to perfection, to status, to accumulation of things that surround us, with some mistaken belief that we can protect ourselves from our own mortality. Ernest Becker, in his book Denial of Death, talks about how we erect those structures to protect us. Denial. The second thing that differentiates human beings is that we are the only creature that is born and is unable to get on its own to the source of nourishment. All other animals can go find the mother's nipple. Humans, if not taken to the source, don't survive. So we are born with an inborn dependency on others to survive. And yet we don't come with an imprint for how to thrive. Nobody says this is what you must do to become the you that you are. I mean, cows don't have to worry about it, they just become cows. But no one tells us how to find our unique selves and how to be that. So there's this inborn dependency on others that begins to conflict with the other part of us that has self-will and autonomy and wants to be independent. They call it the terrible twos. All of a sudden I'm aware that I need you to live, but I want to be me. So how do I be me and still be loved by you? I believe that is a lifelong struggle for all human beings, and it leads to what we now call in my field codependency, if we merge ourselves with the need to be loved by another. And the third thing that defines human beings is this inborn duality. We have an animal body, mortal, and we have an angelic soul. We are animal and angel. We have a lower self and a higher self. In Jungian terms, a persona and a shadow. In Hebrew, we call it a Yetzer HaTov and a Yetzer Hara, a good inclination and an evil inclination. And Judaism solves that paradox in a very interesting way. It says the good inclination is good and the evil inclination is very good. Isn't that a relief? That if we take the darker parts of ourselves, if we harness that energy and transform it through doing good, through right action, then we help to heal the split and we find our wholeness through right action. So we have these opposing inclinations and we have free will, which means that we have to choose to not give in or allow the dark energy to direct us, but to take it and turn it towards doing what's right. And so the switch then is in our thinking from being either good or bad, to accepting that we are a both-and creature. And how do we manage our duality is how we find wholeness within ourselves. How am I doing in time? Good. And that's a day at a time. That's an action at a time. One of me wants to give in to greed and all the other 7 deadly sins and gluttony and pride, and the other one wants to elevate myself, and so I have to take the right action in order to be in both and. And I would like to end. You don't want me to end? You want me to just go on and on and on and on and on? It is 15 minutes, right?
Well, you can talk a little more. You have time.
I want to end with a poem by Rumi from the 13th century. None of this is new, folks. People have known about this forever, but we forget. Rumi, The Guest House. Being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all, even if they are a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice. Meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whomever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Thank you.
They always need to tune, always. I am light, I am light. 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 I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. I am light. I'm not the mistakes that I have made or any other things that cause me pain. I'm not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I am not my race. My soul I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I
Wow. Our prayer meditation is by Naomi King, entitled Open Our Hearts with Love. When the world's violence shatters the joy of a moment, we pause and reach out for the hands that remain. We open our hearts with love. When despair rises as a monster from the deep and drags down one of our own, our answer is that we open our hearts with love. When hatred and anger, rage and fire and suffering, we bend to pick up the wounded, to bind up ourselves, and we open our hearts with love. When fear whispers, build more gates, add more locks. The blessed are those who defend themselves. We rock those fears and sleep and let them rest as we open our hearts with love. People will do unspeakably cruel and horrible things. We know this fact. We live and die this daily all around the world, in every community, in every wasteland. But we know the answer is found only with one action, and so we open our hearts with love. Hatred never ceases by hatred, but by love alone can be healed. This is the truth we affirm. We live with courage and with a wider and wider circle of that force that bends our lives to ones of mercy, justice, and compassion. We open our hearts with love. It's the truth. Just by being born, you are loved. There is something within you and every person that can be loved. We open our hearts with love. In love, we pray for those families, those individuals, all the persons here and everywhere who are desperately sure that there is not enough love in the world for them to have some, who are desperately sure that they do not matter. In love with life, in love with the beloved, we turn to answer that desperation with assurance. You are loved. You are lovable. We will and do love you. Now attend your life's work to love. It's the only legacy that matters. So now please rise as you are able and join us in the closing hymn, number 1014, Answering the Call of Love.
We're going to sing the words that are on the page, standing by the side of love.
Truth in our hearts is
May God bless you and keep you. May she shine her face upon you and be gracious to you. And may the universe give you peace. Amen.